Hello and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I am Dennis Allen with Stratascale. Stratascale is an SHI company focused on cybersecurity professional services. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Sudip Ghose, Vice President of Enterprise Data and Analytics at Equifax. Sudip, can you share with our audience a little bit more about your role at Equifax and your day-to-day responsibilities?
Yeah, I lead the data analytics and AI for internal Equifax, serving the internal Equifax customers, the CFO, CMO, the HR leader, the revenue leader, all of them, with the right data to operate the company and also help them give right results to the Wall Street.
So, what would you say you do on a day-to-day basis there for in support of those folks?
So I manage the entire data ecosystem, which starts from getting the data from the various sources. So the corporate has various applications like revenue management or financial management or the sales management or the marketing management. All of those systems are connected to a central data lake. It's powered by Google Cloud, GCP. So I kind of give that ability. So I have built all the pipelines to get the data into various layers, and making them finally into products that are consumable, either through a BI tool like Tableau for doing its visualization, reporting, analytics, analysis, all of that, or sometimes Looker, which is also used internally for certain cases where there are higher security requirements. We also use Looker and those. So that, and now we have started doing AI. So we use Vertex AI, which is Google's AI portfolio. We use that. So we are also enabling some of the AI features that can serve up data and data self-service and agents and those kind of things. Right.
So, we've talked before a little bit about internal versus external data analytics, and you
Mhm.
mentioned different products and services. Equifax is a big data company, after all. So maybe talk to the folks a little bit about the difference between external or internal data analytics and how it relates to what you're doing.
Yeah. So, as you know, the Equifax is a data and data technology business, and it has a lot of data that comes from outside, and it is processed, keying and linked, and it is served up for its customers, the big banks and the mortgage companies and all, and also the government. So those are our big customers. So our main business is the supply chain of managing the supply chain of data, making sure the quality of the data is good, it is protected, and permissible purpose is maintained. Who can pull the data, who can use the data, the various verifier services, things like that, which is the data business that we. So that we I'm saying is the external part of it, which is serving the consumers and the customers, external to Equifax. Whereas internal is internal. We have a big ecosystem which is used by the internal analysts, whether it is financial services analyst or the revenue analyst, or the sales reps or the sales leaders. All of that analytics is what I am considering as internal.
Okay. You mentioned a number of Google products and Tableau. What are some of those other key enabling technologies that really help you in your mission?
Yeah, sure. So last 5 years we spent a big transformation journey from getting out of all the various different diverse data technologies, Oracle or SQL Server. They were all over the place based on when the journey of that data system started. So we migrated all of that into a central data lake or lake warehouse, um, which is powered by Google. So we have standardized the architecture in three or four different frameworks, so that we can pull data from anywhere, whether it's a SaaS platform or it is an AWS powered platform or an internal platform of data. a source or an application, we are able to pull the data and produce in a very short time. We can produce the analytics that is needed by the customers in a very short time frame. So the whole goal is to the time to market. There's one team, the central team that I kind of head and manage, and we have all the skill set in the engineering, the cloud engineering, and the data engineering skill set to manage that and give a good experience with probably 99.999% uptime of all the entire chain of data and all the way to the analytics. So we have been able to deliver over time in Google Cloud one of the best disaster recovery or blue green architecture over time. So to give reliability, availability, consistency, quality of experience, data experience to the company.
Yeah, so actually, I have two follow-up questions to that. The first would be, you mentioned best, right? In some of those things that you've done. What are some of those key things that you're really proud of that you think your organization does really well that you want to share?
Yeah, sure. So one is the whole security that we have built to protect the data. So we have a very good governance framework, which is two parts to it. One is the technology side of it, but I also have within the business, within the functions, we have people who actually work with me to develop this governance framework. The key point of the governance framework is to make sure the data is secure and it is accessed by people who are supposed to access, even within the company. So financial data is not for everybody. We have to protect that. Sales data, it has to be in a hierarchy. All of that has been practiced well to give people the right data at the right point without opening the floodgate. So enabling people with the right data set at the right time, with very quick request turnaround, using the best, the framework of access, IAM driven access, role based access. So we have been able to do that, and that helps actually. So which also triggers conversation about building products, more products. So because it's the data set for the entire company, it is always a case where finance wants to see some HR data, HR wants to see some finance data, finance wants to see sales data, sales want to see some finance data. So all these intercoupling of the data sets that happen, also regulatory business wants to see some other data sets, right? So we have been able to give that environment where the idea to execution is really, really short. And that's what I think I'm very proud of. And it has been possible because of good, governance structure and the thinking that we have brought, and the rigor that we have brought within the ecosystem, with the business and the functional partners and leaders, has been great.
That's outstanding. The other thing you mentioned was skills, right? And the skills needed within the team. What do you think some of those critical skills are for you in building that team, and the critical skills that you need on your team to be able to manage those technologies, do that analytics, those types of things?
Sure. So I have multiple squads, and the squads are sort of capabilities in that. For example, there's an ingestion technology where ingestion team, which actually are teams who understand the data engineering. So data engineering skill is needed. Then there is site reliability engineers, or the DevOps engineers. So there are few DevOps engineers who are doing really well, and this is all distributed across few countries to cover the globe. So it is not only having the capability in US but also in other countries, because we are a global capability, right? So that, and then obviously we have platform architects who manage Tableau and Looker and other technologies. I used to have other technologies. We just moved out of it. The reason we could move out of it and quickly in the last 2 years is because we kind of practice this combination of platform and cloud architecture together with security, and understanding all of these includes security. So That is an important dimension to each and every squad that I manage, that they can deliver on the security. And there are some there has been strong security mandates over time, which has evolved. Yeah, and we have been, kind of walking along with security, whatever the mandates are, and implementing in a short time frame. So, being able to understand the security and prove with evidences that we have a secure infrastructure and architecture and application architecture and that is secure, is very critical. And it has not been easy. It has been very rigorous, back and forth on how what is secure, what is not. But the framework of security now has been stabilized within the company, and now because we have been following the framework, dotting the i's and crossing the t's at every point, we have been in a very good shape right now, which is our thing I'm proud about, because we always see that when we are doing M&A, we see the security not up to that mark, and we always go and advise, and they come over. The M&As actually come over to our tech stack, just to get the satisfaction of being secure within the Equifax umbrella. So that is the other thing that is makes us more global, across the M&As that we have done in the last 3 years.
Great. Well, I just want to thank you, Sudip, for your time today. Thank everybody for joining us and sitting through our conversation. I know I learned a lot. It was a pleasure chatting with you. And as usual, everybody out there, please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews.
It was a pleasure, Dennis. Thank you so much.